So I've got the radio there so you can listen. When we go up, keep it low lead. There may be a few cars in the distance, so we'll make sure it's fine. There's also a performance 50 plus in it, so don't worry about that. 1, 2. And when we get out, it's not a 100k sign, it'll be one of those speed limit opens, so it'll be white with a black slash on it. We'll also have a guy there with
Where's your 8C, bro? I think in the back. Yeah, in the black New Zealand kit.
All aboard the night train.
Too many of them to list just at the moment, but this is an event run by a bunch of volunteers. It's run by a community. The community owns this event, and we're really grateful for all the input. I'd just like to acknowledge Westpac over the back there, because they've gotten behind particularly the Slicks and Stones to show that they're a community-based and contributing organisation. So really pleased that Westpac can get on board. And I'd just like to also acknowledge their involvement in raising money for the Westpac rescue helicopter. All right. So the men's race, and I haven't looked at anyone's Garmin or GPS, but it should have been about 138k from Fielding to Palmerston North, a long way round. And it was a pretty tough day out there. In third place in the race went to Sam Volkers. Yes, Sam's riding for a Swedish team, but he's an Aussie, in fact. And welcome, Sam. It's your first time in the Manawatu.
I've been here one time before. New Zealand Cycle Classic used to be in Palmerston North, 2015 maybe. It's pretty nice. It was a hard race and didn't see much scenery, but got pretty dirty.
So it's the first time doing gravel and tar. Yeah. So the people that did well, or at least Neve Fisher-Blake, who won the women's race, the question I asked her, did it help the fact that she'd done it before? And I'm going to ask these two blokes here, because they're likely lads, and I've seen them a few times here in Palmy. What did you think of the course? Was it one of the toughest races you've done?
Yeah, it was. Obviously the gravel makes it challenging, but it's also quite undulating all day. So it makes it quite hard to sort of go easy at any point. But yeah, it was a hard race, especially this early on in the season. So it was nice to get through and get a podium.
Thanks, all right. Well, third place, Sam Volkers. Give him a round of applause, please. Second place, Luke Mudgway. Luke, you probably saw him in the paper yesterday, in fact. Luke Mudgway, he's a local lad. Well, almost. Well, we'll claim him. Luke won last year, and it's really nice to see him perform again, being up on the podium. I'll ask Luke a few questions too. How'd you find it this year, Luke?
Yeah, really hard. But yeah, it was such an epic race. I mean, Hayden was on another level today, but for myself, I had a bit of a puncher in that second section, and just having such a strong team helped me a lot. You know, I had a teammate there right with me, helped me. I thought my race was over. Teammate helped me get to the next group, and then once I was there, I had another couple of teammates, and then they helped me get to the group after that. And then, you know, I was back in the race, and from a position where I don't think I'll be back in the race. So once I got there, it was all on, and yeah, I was just went as hard as I could to, I guess, get team's classification and get second for all the hard work that the boys did for me to get me back in the race.
Yeah, well, let's and the word team comes out. Cycling's a team event, and I think, you know, is a great example there. All right, second place, Luke Mudgway from Palmerston North. Someone asked me who I thought was going to win the men's race, and I said Hayden McCormick if he didn't puncture. And I think Hayden's been going to get in the podium, if not win it, for a couple of years, but suffered a puncture or two or three, or perhaps, I don't know how many, 5, just in the last 10 or 12 kilometres of the race. He's been unlucky, but he wasn't unlucky, I don't think, today. But we're lucky enough to have a rider of Hayden's calibre here. We're lucky enough to have Black Spike turn up for the second race of their entire existence. And first place today goes to Hayden McCormick. Hayden, I just quickly want to ask you, you know, this is Black Spoke's second outing. What does it mean to you to be riding for a UCI New Zealand-based team?
Yeah, New Zealand's needed something for quite a long time, actually. So when Scott Guyton called me up, it was obviously any decisions sort of a tough one when it's your career, but after I thought about it for a while, it was definitely the right one, and just having good equipment and good organisation and stuff like that really helps. And then yeah, it's an awesome second race to kick off the season.
Yeah, so there's UCI points up for grabs today, as there were last week. What does that mean to you, and what does that mean to the team?
Yeah, well, for both it's really important actually, especially personally I was pretty close to a couple other teams last year, and the UCI points should definitely help going forward. And even just a race like this sort of shows you can ride off-road, and you're not just a boring old cyclist, so it's good.
Yeah, it's not a boring old race. All right, look, can we give another round of applause to Hayden McCormick, a very, very well-deserved winner of the Gravel and Tar 2020. We've got a special trophy, and in a moment we'll get the Mayor Grant Smith to say something and present the trophy. Grant.
Thanks, Steve. Kia ora, everybody. Look, this trophy here, I just want to acknowledge it's been donated by E-Tech Engineering, and to Rob Barn and Malcolm Bailey, thank you for your support of the event. And this will be a perpetual trophy that will stay with the event. So, as Steve said, we're 5 years into this event, and I think it's growing in stature. I'd like to congratulate chaps on the stage here for their hard ride. But I think the event is really starting to go places. Having UCI points, obviously, as Steve said, is really beneficial. So thank you guys for supporting the race. I know there's points and money at stake, but we appreciate you coming to Palmerston North. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a big thanks to Steve too, because I know these races don't organise himself, and especially in New Zealand it's not easy with traffic management and cars and everything, and without the cycling culture I know it's tough. So thank you to you and the Manawatu and Palmerston North Council, I believe is correct. So yeah, just thanks, and everyone that turned up today, just thanks for the support, and yeah, cheers.
Thanks, Hayden. I just get our Chief Commissaire Mike Sim to say a few words on behalf of the UCI.
Yeah, thanks Steve. Kia ora everybody. I had the pleasure of being appointed by the UCI, International Cycling Union, to be the Chief Com for the men's race here. It was a real honour, and so I just like to thank Steve, the Palmerston North City Council and Manawatu District for putting this on. It should not be underestimated. Putting on a UCI race is a really big task. They're very demanding on what they expect, and but at the end of the day, it is about the riders actually on the road, their safety, and being able to perform for the spectators. And that was an awesome race to be sitting behind and be part of. So, thanks everybody.
Right, just while we're getting some photos done, there's a few more announcements to be made in terms of results. So, as I said, cycling's a team sport, and these guys work together as a team, and obviously Black Spoke and Memel. Black Spoke are our New Zealand flag